Like here's one with this. It's way prettier gold in person.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's super
pretty.
hard to get the gold to show up good.
It is. It looks a little better on this one, maybe. Oh yeah, that one you can really see it.
Noise.
That's good.
Drew, are
And
you
then this
bringing
is really
those?
what they look like for realsies. You know what I mean? Like this is more like what the logo's supposed to look like.
Drew, are you bringing those showdown ones with you, or are you sending them?
I'm mailing tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm gonna mail the ones that have like the logo, the showdown logo, and I have a bunch of like miscellaneous ones that I'm gonna put in there and just give them all your time.
Hell yeah. Yep, more raffle stuff, the better.
Yep.
Man, Ryan stays ready.
Yeah.
Boy said he keep that thing on him.
Sheesh.
So what have you guys been up to this last week?
Oh my god, working my ass off. I tore some more ligaments in my other elbow, which is fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
Sick, yeah.
How'd you do that? Working or doing?
I was training, and it was. I don't like. It's not like I did any. It's oldness, is what it is. It's like, how did that happen? Old is what it is. I was training with this fucking super badass named Ahmed that I roll with frequently, and he had a really good Kimura grip on my left hand, and it's kind of like his move. Like you start trying to pass his guard, and he wraps up a Kimura grip right away, and I felt him keep adjusting his hands a little bit, like pretty frequently while I was defending, and at one point he like let go with like the main hand to hold it in there. I just pulled my arm out, and as I was pulling my arm out, it hurt a little bit, and I was like, oh shit, I kind of hurt myself a little bit. That's fucking weird. Like he didn't even have a fucking grip on me. I mean, I had to. He was kind of had like a little bit of like a chicken wing kind of grip on my arm, but that shouldn't be enough for me to have an injury. But my arm's fucking
Maybe
up.
just like that constant strain and then having no strain.
It wasn't. It was never. I was never pulling. You know what I mean? Had I been pulling, he wouldn't have let go. I just kind of like let him have it without letting him attack the submission. You know what I mean? So I didn't pull my arm out of there, and maybe it was just my extra aggressive pulling my arm out of there. But like, it's fucked up. It's oldness, man. It's fucked up. So I have an appointment with my friend, another training partner named Josh Sutledge, and he is like a professional jiu-jitsu athlete trainer. Not that I'm a professional jiu-jitsu athlete, but if I can do more stuff to be stronger and prevent injuries. Now, you know, when I first started teaching yoga, the first class I taught was called prehab, and I taught it at an MMA fight school. And we called it prehab, and all the fighters were like, "What's prehab? That sounds good. I just got done with rehab and it sucked. Yeah. So prehab sounds way better." And I was like, it pretty much is like a really good power yoga class taught by a jiu-jitsu guy that can crawl around on the floor real good. And they were like, fucking awesome. And so I had a bunch of fighters and shit and jiu-jitsu guys taking my class when I first started. It was really cool. And I tell you, man, it really worked. So now that I haven't been doing yoga since 2020, here I am with fucking multiple injuries since then. So yes. Yep.
You'll have that.
Yoga. And doing it, just practicing yoga is all I need to do. But yeah. Yep. I saw a video of Brody Man doing mitts and stuff with Bobby Todd. Bobby Todd is a bare knuckle boxing fighter. I think he's ranked number 3 right now. And that dude is an absolute fucking badass. Super exciting to watch. But man, it's really cool seeing Brody Man does quite a bit of martial arts fight training. And that kid is gonna be a fucking, he'll probably be like the nicest person on the planet and a big cuddly sweetheart, but he'll also have that destroy somebody if he needed to ness that somebody that trains since they're a little kid has, you know. So
is Bobby Taylor?
I hope Brody Man's doing some wrestling stuff too. He should be on the wrestling team. Yeah, for sure.
Is Bobby Taylor somebody you know? Is he a basehead or is just a popular fighter?
He knows Brody Man and his dad, And I think I don't know if he's a full-on base head, but he's I think they Sharpied a Gately shield on him for one of his fights at one point, which was kind of cool. I was like, fucking cool, that's right on. So, but yeah,
bare knuckles, no joke, dude.
Oh man,
yeah, those guys.
I'd be way more worried about my hands than my face, and I really worry about my face a lot.
What's that dude's
You're a
name?
broken hand. What's that?
Isn't it Perry? Isn't it Matthew Perry or something Perry?
Yes, Matthew Perry. He's a champion in one of the weight divisions, and he was great in the UFC, but in bare knuckle. What?
It's Mike
Not
Perry.
Matthew Perry. Mike Perry.
Mike Perry. Okay, yeah.
Did you say Matthew Perry?
I said yeah, and then we both said it. Yeah, because I couldn't think of his name, but it's Mike. Yeah, because he was like okay in the UFC, but in bare knuckle, he just dominates people.
Yeah, he's fucking badass. He's super exciting to watch as well. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the bare knuckle stuff's pretty cool. It's just you can't put it all in your punches bare knuckle, otherwise you'll break your hand right away. So there's it's really a different type of striking. Michael Perry was on Joe Rogan a while back, and he was talking about that. Also, Chad Mendez is local around here, and he talked about he's like I made more money in one fight doing bare knuckle boxing than like my last full contract that I had for the UFC. It's like, holy shit, man. So, but it's pretty exciting, man. They fucking bleed, man.
Oh yeah. Shit.
What's
what about car audio wise? What's going on car audio wise? You told us before we went live, but got a little expansion going on at the shop.
Oh yeah, so I talked about it a bit. We expanded the shop quite a bit. We cleared out a lot of space. We finally had been able to work reasonably utilizing all the space. And right now we currently have 5 vehicles in our install bay.
Hell yeah.
Which is pretty exciting. And there's room to work realistically on any of those 5 vehicles. So
that's the ticket.
Instead of having, you guys have both seen the bay before, where it was like,
how's that even possible?
2 little cars, you could kind of work on. What's that?
How do you have 5 cars in there?
The install bay is way bigger. Like the whole rest of the shop, we blew a whole wall out and all the way.
I mean, when I was there, it seemed like
2 cars was a squeeze.
Yeah, I mean, no way.
I thought you were using all the space in the building.
No, there's there was the other little section of the building, a little storage thing. My buddy had a bunch of shit in there, and it was built out with a bunch of rooms. Somebody lived in it at one point. So my buddy was getting really cheap rent and utilizing the space. But
so the space that you opened up to, I didn't see when I was there. Is it basically the same size as the bay that you were using?
A tiny bit narrower.
Okay, so you've almost doubled the space since.
Well, because there was no wall now, it's way more than double overall. Because the way that the world goes together, right?
What did you do with all the stuff that was on the walls? All that, like your shelves and equipment and stuff.
Well, we moved all the toolboxes and shelves all the way to the outside back wall. So now the space between I have 3 cars like this and 2 cars behind them. And
hell yeah, man!
It's pretty awesome, man.
I would love to have an expansion like that occur.
Oh man, I mean, here's the scary part is if they don't do something for me on a lease, my rent's going to be really fucking expensive, and that's what I'm most afraid of. But
tell them get their shit together.
And I think they will, because we made the change so linear. Like there's no lapse of rent for them at all, and they don't have to do anything. They literally don't have to touch a fucking thing. So they're saving tens of thousands of dollars, so in hopes.
And like whoever might have moved in might not want to be next to your loud ass.
Yeah. And what were they going to do? They don't have a bay door. It's this big fucking mess. It's like, it would have been a real problem. So I really hope they take all of that into consideration and come back at me with, 20% discount for a couple year lease or something like that. We'll see how it goes.
They're gonna be like, bro, you owe us for the wall you just fucked up.
Yeah, you host for the wall, man.
And here's a $25,000 bill. Thanks.
Yeah, well, it's kind of one of those things where if I wouldn't be surprised with some landlordy people that they would do something of that nature, and neither would you guys. That's basically what you guys said there. But these guys are pretty good landlords most of the time.
Good.
And if they really like you, they're good. When they decide that you're their least favorite, they're kind of shitty. Which I've been that guy here before, where they like one of the guys just really didn't like me. He was making things really difficult. But now I'm his favorite, and so.
How long have you been there, Bobby?
I have been in this building since early 2002.
Shit, long fucking time.
Yeah, 22 years.
God damn. Yeah.
Almost 22 years. I remember it was right after my birthday when we were moving in. So,
yeah, nobody wants to lose a tenant like that.
Mm-mm.
So,
well, they think they do, and I can charge more, and then they get some just complete ass. Tears the place up.
Or they just can't keep filled or nothing.
There are places. There's so many places all over. Like, what's really crazy is like there's all these companies trying to convert office buildings into more usable space because so many businesses really have figured out that they don't need to be in an office building.
COVID taught that. Brandy's company she worked for, they've had 3 or 4 locations for forever, like decades. After COVID, they were like, you know what? We don't need this really expensive one. It was their biggest size-wise facility, and they're like, no, it's got to go. Like, we haven't seen anybody in like 6 months, like a year and a half. And all the salespeople are like, we're not coming back.
That's crazy.
Yeah. When Allie was working for the bank, and they were like, yeah, we're going to have you come back to the office. And she was like,
no, you're not.
Nope. And I, when Allie was working for the bank, man, we would have these conversations. She'd come to me, she'd be all super frustrated with her bosses in the business. And she's like, this sucks. And I'd be like, she's like, what's up? And I'm like, I'm just trying to make sure I just listen. I'm like, but if you ask me if I have any ideas on what you should do, I'm going to tell you to quit.
See, me
like
you've had
half a dozen things happen at your work that any one of those individual things and it would have been done. And I'm like, I am like, I'm not unemployable, but if I
but you also know that you're not stuck anywhere
at their jobs frequently. Nope.
Yep.
Probably the only job I've ever had where they really always treated me really well was when I worked at the biotech company. And there were a couple of times where like other people in the business were shitty to me. And I was like, hey, I'm not going to let that. And they were like, no, we're not going to let that happen to you. Hey, you can't treat people like that. Like, that guy's important. And like, you can't be that way to anybody, fucked up person, and it was really nice to get that kind of support from my boss when I was there. But then when I went to Boss Wakeboard Towers, and one of the 2 owners was a little weaselly dude that wanted to mouth off and shout at people and not be cool. And I was like, oh,
no,
I quit. I'm out. It's over.
Damn it, man.
And here we are.
Yeah, so we had that conversation at Max Training, actually.
What's that?
You told me that story about them and then the fiberglass place that were at Max Training.
Yeah. The fiberglass place
speaking of really Max Training,
they were always pretty good to me there.
I will be at the 3rd Max Training in March.
That's cool. I want to go.
I was officially invited.
Are they going to do it? Are they ever going to do it in
Florida?
Florida?
Probably not, because all the electronics division is Arizona.
I see. That's right.
Yeah. No, they invited me back. They invited me and a couple other people to come if we were available, help out, and do all that. So I booked my ticket the other day. I was like, let me just look, see how much it is. Out of New Orleans to there, it was like $400, $500, I guess, maybe a little less, but it takes forever because you have to get a layover. I'm like, let me see how much it is out of Baton Rouge. Let me ball out. And it wasn't that much more. I said, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just do it. And I was like, I'm not gonna book Spirit. I'm gonna book like United. I was like, because I'm into buying the front seats anyway at Spirit. So I went to go pay. And I'm like, what if I have to like?
You buy the front seats just so you can get off the plane faster?
No, just because I have leg room.
They're way bigger. They're like 2 seats in the front instead of 3.
So like, I went to go pay. I was like $600 something. Man, it sucks. Whatever. I was like, I wonder if I get like 2% extra on my credit card. Let me go look. So I logged in my credit card. I had $580 in rewards that I could use for travel. I said, run it back.
Nice.
I need to start using that shit. I got like $10,000 on one of my credit cards, and I got 20 something on the other one.
Yeah, it's like rewards are what's up.
Bro, I use it all the time. It's just connected to my Amazon account. So I have an Amazon card that everything I buy on Amazon, I get like 4 to 6% back on.
So we got Jack Smith in the house.
Oh,
of DD Audio. Speaking of DD Audio, I got a call last week from Jack asking if we wanted to have Jassa Langford on the show, coming up. For those who don't know, Jassa Langford is the owner and founder of Digital Designs, DD Audio.
Shit.
So, and apparently this will be his first podcast or something like this. And I said, hell no. We don't want to keep him off my screen, bud. No, I said hell yeah. I said absolutely.
Yeah. When are we gonna do that?
We just got to work out a time that works for him and us. So just kind of whenever, I suppose.
Okay.
Very cool.
I got a guest to bring on too that I met at KFest. He recognized me. I guess he's a longtime bass head, but has been following my builds for a long time. And
who is it?
Happened to be just out of coincidence the Truly guy, and it's the guy that Bobby's building enclosures for and did their
display acrylic components,
display and all that stuff. So it's just a weird coincidence, small world type thing.
He's been a fan of what we all do, and because we are all associated with one another, that makes him know us all even better. So when you come walking up to him in the middle of his display, and he's gonna start talking, you're Steve and you're friends, and so
yeah. Well, he was like, he's I'm pretty sure he said he's been doing. He did like a bunch of SPL stuff in 03.
Yeah.
You said Truly, like the drink?
No, it's the name of the.
That's what everybody says.
It's the name of the speaker.
But no, it has nothing to do with the drink.
I am much less entertained.
Well, you'll be pretty entertained. The products are really fucking cool, Drew.
Yeah. Oh, TRULLI.
I'm gonna pull it up.
That's truly a good name.
Yep. So it's these speakers.
Now, what I can tell you about these speakers is that they are hand assembled in, outside of Chicago in the United States. And I was watching these technicians glue these things together in these little badass jigs that they had machined, and they glue the Neos into that. And it's got this big ass voice coil. It's really cool. And
let's see, I got more pictures. So yeah, this little speaker, they had a JLW6 next to it because it's another 600 watt sub. This is a 600 watt.
Actually, I heard about that. Someone mentioned that to me, that someone had a JL speaker with like the logo covered up. Yeah.
There's the two. And it has more output than the W6 at 600 watts. W6 could probably take more power. I don't know, because this has this massive coil, like an 8-inch coil.
I have some large.
Oh, there's the little bandpass adapter on it right there.
Yeah, this is basically the system. So when I was at Bobby's shop, you guys had these, I remember, of scattered around the shop.
We were building the cases.
Yep. And I was like, what were those things? And you briefly explained it to me, but I don't know. Just I remember it, but
more important things to focus on.
Yeah. And then when he showed it to me, and he said, you built those. I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing those. And So this thing will go full tilt for 10 hours straight on this battery.
Mhm.
It's 600 watts, which is freaking
Is
wild.
there
And what's really cool
anywhere we gotta
is
look up like information on these things, or I'm on
You
the
can go to
website,
their
but I don't see
website.
anything.
there's
I
not a
have
whole lot of information because they haven't released the product just yet.
I have the pamphlets and stuff, but Jordan wants to come on, or I mean, I invited him on. I told him we'd love to have you on the show to learn more about the tech and stuff. But so basically, I think he told me it's $2,000 for this top unit, and it's completely portable, Bluetooth. You don't have to run power wires or none of that stuff. You just put it in your trunk and beat away. And if you add this bottom part, it adds 12 dBs. It's basically a fourth order box. And they like seal up to each other. So it's pretty dope.
I have questions.
Yeah. But yeah, it's you have write down some questions you can ask him when we have him on. He's gonna send me a couple of the drivers to mess around with.
Boy, he better send me one. The hell?
Right? Yeah, it'd be good for you. I'll send you one. If he sends me 2 of them, shit, I'll send you one. Mess around with.
I'm all for some shallow. There are very few shallow drivers. I mean, if it's as good as they're saying it is, I mean,
Well, I
I'm
heard
Haley out of business.
I mean, they put me in their little room with one of the boxes. Well, I mean, if they're making 10,000 of them, Gately's gonna have a lot of business.
I
He's
sure
gonna
hope
make a lot of
so.
money.
I mean,
Gailey's like, please don't.
we made like a sample run of 20 of the enclosures for them, and what was really my favorite thing about it was they were showing us how they had handmade them, and they have this 1.5 inch radius in this stack fab 3/4 inch Baltic birch assembly, and they were going after this thing with an 1.5 inch radius router fucking bit, which is like a fucking helicopter blade, gnarly, sketchy ass thing. And I was like, okay, if we have to load an
Sorry,
1.5 inch
Jess, keep
router
telling.
into a router table and run these parts through it, we won't be producing these for them because I'm not risking my technicians sticking their fingers into this thing for 100 or 5,000 of these fucking parts. Like if I needed to make one, I would load the part and I would run it. Me or Colt, right, would have that. But I'm not. It's like the gnarliest tool in the shop is the table router, especially with a bit like that in it. So Anthony and I had all these discussions, and I designed the way that the parts run, and we put the sheet of material on the CNC machine, and we run it, and it doesn't cut all the parts all the way through. We clear it all off, pull it back, flip it over, recenter this thing up, and it runs all the rest of the stuff. And then the parts come off, and they just snap together like Legos. And you put the adhesive in, put a couple of fasteners in, like 4. There's like 4 fasteners in the assembly, and everything goes together the way. And I didn't have to modify.
I didn't see him.
I didn't have to modify anything about what their design
Andy
requirements were of where their panels go, their thicknesses, any of the things. So it was super fun, and I'm like super proud of it. I like someone like Jim would really pick up what I'm putting down if I showed him the whole sequence, and he'd be like, "Oh fuck, that's badass!" Like, so I'm able to make these parts snap together and create that radius without having to use any big gnarly router bits, and nobody has to
risk their digits.
Yeah. Like nobody has to machine anything by hand. We just put it and we sand it a little bit and we put the fucking carpet on it and they're done.
You got to risk it for the digits.
And then I didn't really have shit ass to do with this, but I was like, Colt, figure out how to efficiently upholster these easily. And Colt set up this cool little jig to cut the carpet to exactly the right size. And then they applied the adhesive accordingly. And then he had like a little piece and he tucked it in like this and he stretched it a certain way and brought it around. He made another little tool that tucked it in on the other side. And boom, bam, done. The carpeting process was done quick and easy. And the guys were like, now the only thing that sucked is we had these pieces of carpet
Nobody
You're like, there's like 10 of them, and I'm all, that's fine when you got fucking 10 of them, but when we're doing 100, that's gonna be a problem. And they want it, and they're like, hey, we're gonna want like 10,000, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make 10,000 at once. We're gonna make up 100 or 50 or 250 of them at a time for you, and like you're gonna get a pallet shipped every week or two until we're done. But I
can't stop everything else.
I hope
that, and I'm like, where the fuck am I gonna put 10,000 of those?
Like, you put one in my bedroom, in my office. Bedroom office.
No, I think it'd be cool to have under my desk as my subwoofer.
To answer Matt, I only went to KFest on Saturday for like maybe an hour and a half. I just did a lap. I talked to the Truly guy for a little while, got a demo. I talked to the Kicker guys for a decent amount of time. You probably heard me at the Kicker booth because I think I was the only one that they told to go in there and just turn it on as loud as I wanted. So I turned it on pretty loud. And then
you said say less.
And I ran into just so many people.
KFest, I'm gonna go visit everybody but JL.
Well, I ran into 2 or 3 different people that I haven't seen in forever, and those turned into like 20 to 30-minute conversations.
Yep, every time.
And at that point, I was like kind of just spun around. I was right by the exit. And I was like, all right, I saw everything. So, yeah, I don't even remember seeing the JL booth. That's how not.
But
I don't know. It's not my. It's cool, but it's not like the stuff that you would fucking love it, Drew. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of cool shit.
KFest?
Yeah.
It's been a while, but I went to KFest Dallas when I was in working at a shop. And if I'd have known it was gonna be this big, I'd have went because it seemed like everybody and their mama was there.
There was a lot of people there that I knew. If I owned a shop or if I was in the industry in any capacity that they have the workshops for and stuff, I would definitely go because I think it's definitely worth it. There's a lot of shit you can learn. That's fair. It's just
I want to go to Dallas, but it's like the weekend before or after Surf.
Yes, David, I'm reading.
Makes it a little more challenging. And then this year, just like last year, it was also the weekend of Allison's birthday. And I'm like, I don't want to be gone for my wife's birthday.
Yep.
So, and I don't want to drag her to Vegas to go to fucking KFest either. So, but I would like to go to Dallas. And I do a lot of things in Vegas. So
I think there's a Long Beach one too, right? Or did they move that one to Vegas?
I definitely am not trying to be in Long Beach at all for any reason.
He said, nah, bro. I'm all right.
I love California, but I don't want to be in Long Beach. But I think Dallas is really bitching, and I'm going to go to Dallas. Probably go to Dallas. So, Drew, we should go to Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first place I went to.
So we were talking about hand building speakers and stuff. That reminded me of going to JL forever ago. And then so I went and looked at photos. And I saw this photo. This is the most impressive thing in that building. This.
Why?
Not him. This box.
Why?
That is an in-wall subwoofer.
Mm-hmm.
And
it just performs extremely well.
It was. So we were leaving the room, it's a big room. We were walking. I took this picture as we were leaving, and I heard bass turn on, and I thought it was like a W7 13, like a room over. I was like, bro, what that be eating? And it was this thing just hanging free air playing.
Wasn't even fastened to anything.
No, it's literally floating by a string. I said, bro. I went back and looked at it. I said, what is this? Why does it sound like 412 knocking the block over?
And what did they say?
They said, because we're JL, bud. Duh. Because it's expensive. And actually, it's a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable than I thought it would have been. You get a pair of them with a JL amp for like $4,000 or something.
Oh, man.
What are you talking about, David Thomas?
Yeah, we're reading the chat. What's up? That's what I was just looking back in the chat.
Something important? I don't even see anything else he said. Oh, there he is. Do you think the success that such as Kicker Rocker is contributing to the time they were formed? Well, no, because they all made really nice products and they never really stopped. I mean, there was 20, 30 other OG brands that if they're lucky, they sold out
To one
their
of those other
name and
brands.
got paid for it. But many of them just let it die, and or they didn't know how to improve. They went, oh, I guess I'll just get the shit built overseas, and then the companies overseas were like, we'll make it cheaper for you, and they were like, fucking do it, and they were like, cool, you're gonna compromise the shit out of your integrity, and they were like, I guess I'm okay with that. And then they made a bunch of garbage for a long time, and then everybody stopped buying their shit, and then they were gone.
Now,
It was
the
sad.
current size they are has, that has to do with how long they've been in it, because they've been in it for so long.
Yeah. So that's it. But otherwise, yes. So
Yeah.
so part of it is how long they've been around, and part of it that they never, like, there were definitely some
Okay.
moments
Like
where
who were you like? Who specific? Like who you talking about? Because
mean?
he said, great companies can't grow as big. New companies. I mean, I don't think you may not realize how old some of these come, like how old Kicker is. Kicker started car audio. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, 1974. I wasn't born yet when Steve Irby founded Stillwater Designs. I wasn't born yet. It's 1974, right? Rockford was right behind him, like 2 years later, and Kicker was making butt kicker boxes with a sub. They were making boxes with a woofer in it, right? Yep. Rockford made the first like amplifier, really. All right, buddy, have a good one. We'll see you. And
use like DC, DD, Sundown, etc. I mean, they're all. Those are all fairly new companies.
Them are doing really well.
Yeah,
Sundown's doing amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sundown is
they're what they've done. They basically created their own. They basically created a market. I mean, like before Sundown,
I think that's kind of an age thing currently. More than like Sundown's growing and doing a bunch of R&D and doing a bunch of great work, and he just
like so. Before Sundown, there were a couple subs you could have gotten that were pushing the limit like that. But what Jake did was he took that and he made like an actual. Not that these aren't also companies, but like a company that was reinvesting in itself constantly, year after year, growing, getting more employees, bigger, more products, more subs, more amps, more just like nonstop innovation. And it will be one of the big companies. I have no doubt in my mind that it is ish, but it's not JL and it's not Fosgate and it's not Kicker yet. But
yeah,
I mean that's
the biggest thing yet.
I think they're on track to become. If they keep doing what they're doing,
he said DD's been around since 1986. I guess alluding to them being older, and a lot of people seem to forget DD revolutionized loud subs. They have created some of the loudest drivers ever. Period. Flat.
When I started Gately Audio in '99, I got my hands on a DD sub, and it was by far the most badass.
We'll come back to this in a second.
Subwoofer that I had ever experienced, and I was blown away. Now, another thing that I'll say about DD is the main owner guy. I know that he really liked having complete control of what he was doing. And I think they had a small group. It was a relatively small company for a long time until the early 2000s. And I think they were doing really well as a small group. And then I think later when they wanted to expand, as the main owner guy was kind of like, all right, like getting less involved, they had to make some big jumps. They started doing the amps. They started bringing in. They created like the audio cube, which turned to SoundQubed, and all of these things that were utilizing mass production from overseas and stuff. Now, I don't think the main owner guy was really interested in doing that for a very long time, and not until.
Well, we will be able to ask him soon.
Yeah, we're gonna
honestly,
get. I don't know if they
had I don't know if they had a China-made sub until the Redline series.
Yeah, so and that's that's what I was gonna come back to this.
6 years
ago.
Some
companies don't want. A lot of companies don't want to be that big. So there are home audio companies selling speakers that cost more than your house, and they don't want to sell stuff that costs as much as your car because that's too cheap.
They have no interest
Yeah.
in doing that. Yeah.
Or take like Phi, like they've been around. There are companies in this genre that have been around longer. It's not what I'm not saying like Sundown created this. It's just that I think they've had the most influence in making it as big as it is because of how much they've reinvested back into it. Where a lot of these companies are still kind of catalog-ish stuff. DD's never been. DD's not
Yeah,
what I'm talking
DD is.
at all.
I
But
mean, I bet the first
other-
160, almost everybody heard was probably a DD build.
That's the loudest build I ever heard, and it's what made me get into car audio as much as I did.
Yep,
I literally watched this guy in the Suzuki Sidekick kill everybody, and I ordered DD subs the next day. Yeah, Bob, you're not one of those people either. That's just getting cookie cutter stuff. But what I'm saying is,
I mean, I'm
there's a lot of
trying.
these brands.
He's like, I would love to if it could perform good.
We just received these today. We received the 3-inch, the 6.5, and the 8, just
Give
one
me.
set each.
Give
And
me.
it's just with our baskets, and they don't have the black soft parts that I wanted. And I'm all, hey man, like you're not quite like it's supposed to be production prototype. Why don't you guys give me my embossed Gately shield?
Speaking of speakers, John Robbie, I think it's Rabe.
Robbie. It's Robbie.
Okay, all right. Hit me up the other day. Said he's gonna send me out all the Sky High stuff to take a listen to, and send me an amp to measure.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I mean, Bobby, you could explain how difficult it is to actually make a product like that or a speaker versus ordering one out of a catalog. Because you could have had mids and highs out years ago if you wanted to. But
yeah,
obviously.
This is since I finally got in contact with a company that I believed could actually handle what I wanted them to do. It has been 11 months. And my production versions of these, which I'm not going to approve this based on what they handed me here. I'm going to be like, these look cool, but I need you to hand me a production proto. You got to give me with my cones, with my baskets, with my soft parts, exactly what they are. You know what I mean? Before I go, okay, go ahead and build me 300 sets of these, because that is like
it's 301. I would like I said, thank you.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to do that, and so and it's still challenging, and I really love working with these people. They've been fucking fantastic. So yeah.
What's not right on this speaker, Bobby? You said?
Well, it's supposed to have. I mean, it's really mainly just aesthetic at this point. It's supposed to have our Gately shield raised on these cones, and the soft parts are all supposed to be black. And I have to make sure that them switching these to black soft parts doesn't change them to actually different parts, because all of my testing that I've done and all the samples they gave me have been so far looking like these. So I'm like, hey, I can't actually for sure know, right?
Yeah. So that's the first basket that you've gotten from them?
Yeah, and I got a pair of each with our baskets. So it's nice to see the baskets. This is the 3-inch.
Are you happy with the basket?
The other
I like that. That looks good.
I mean, I fucking designed them, and I got, I 3D printed them so that I saw, what they would look like. But it'd be cool to know, Yeah. So.
Yep. Yeah, John. I was at Carlos's last testing while everybody was in town for KFest, which was freaking awesome. It was a good time. Yeah, they got some pretty big plans there for Carlos's van, and obviously John is just nonstop, got shit going on in his head. So some pretty cool stuff coming up with SoundQubed, and yeah, that guy's something else.
We are one more thing. You said things coming up for SoundQubed. We're gonna build boxes for SoundQubed. They'll be a little more simple than a normal Gately box, and so they'll be significantly more affordable. Our plan is to, they won't have like a curved panel or a curved, stacked assembly. It'll be all 3/4-inch material, a little bit of bracing, and made to be most affordable possible. And So John and I talked a bit about that today, and we're going to do a production prototype of each the double. So we're going to do a double 12, a single 15. We're going to do a double 10 and a single 12. And those will be the first 4 enclosures available. There'll be a SoundQubed product OEM'd by Gately Audio. So
I know, Bobby, you annoying me because now I want to reverse mount those 3s, and that don't work like that.
What are you doing for?
I need acrylic boxes for my 3s so people can see the basket.
Ed King insists on inverting the 8-inch mid bass drivers.
Yeah,
now this is the mid.
As long as he runs them as actual mid bass, that'll be fine.
Yeah,
just make weird boxes for them in the doors. Those things are cool looking.
Yeah,
I like how the magnets inside the bottom part of the basket.
I mean, like, you know, I saw the Morels are built that way a lot. A lot of the Morels are really pretty like
so
that.
Bobby, someone messaged me earlier today, you know, needs a box done, this and that, blah, blah, blah. He just messaged me back saying, he's like, I was recommended to you by Bobby Gately. I said, I'm actually on live right now with him.
I got fun gizmos.
What you got? Oh, money. You got money, dude. That's what you got.
I talked to this guy for 10 minutes the other day, and I was like, he's really smart. He makes me tired when he talks to me.
That reminded me.
I'm gonna put. So what's really cool is I'm doing an audio system in my Aunt Debbie's Lexus, and it's gonna be like as SQ. I mean, as like beginner SQ as you can get. JL 808, single 10W1 sub with just a couple channels bridge to it, and then the point source 4-inch, 3 of them in the dash with the ribbon. Is it ribbon? Is that how we pronounce it?
I think it's ribbon. Yep.
Okay. With the
what
ribbon,
is that?
So it's
an up mixer.
To
put a center.
So what it does is it takes your left and your right, sprinkle some jizz in it, and you get a true center channel output.
To run to a center channel.
Yeah, to run to a center channel to run for 2-seat cars, basically.
I see. So basically, most cars don't have a center channel. This is to add a center channel.
Well, a lot of them do, but they don't have true up mixers. So this is to get proper, as good as you can, imaging and staging, which is, you know, sound up on the dash from both seats. Yeah, very hard to do.
Fucking no.
How does it know?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, what exactly does it do? You're saying it's taking signal from both sides,
left and right,
and it's doing whatever.
Yeah, it's doing some type of calculation to give you a center channel, because your center can't be full left or full right, but it also can't be just a mix of both. It's like there's a balance that it needs to go back and forth between.
And then basically from that little box, you're going to send it to your.
I just got a message. Takes 2. Well, yes, I know that, Matt. It takes 2 to make it 3.
You still got a DSP.
Yeah. What? What? I said 2 channels makes it 3.
Oh, fucking wow! Dun, 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 Captain Obvious.
Yeah. So you would still DSP it, because for it to work right, you know, for true stereo already, your left and right need to sound as close to identical as possible in level and tonality. So you need your center to sound the same, as close as it can be. The hard part becomes is that, you know, a lot of guys like Bobby and a lot of people would do 8s for mid bass in the doors or the kicks, whatever. It was hard to get an 8 in your dash. Hard.
I think I can fit an 8 in my fucking Sprinter. Now, let me tell you something. Of all vehicles I've ever listened to, I've been in 2 Sprinter vans that had really nice, well-built front stages with, you know, custom pillars and nice speakers and DSPs and badass amplifiers. One is my Sprinter van, and the other is the owner of Audio Dynamics, Aaron White's Sprinter van. And the fucking driver's seat in a Sprinter van is so much closer to the left A pillar that the fucking right pillar is way the fuck over there. And when you tune that thing's like 1.5 dBs up louder to make that shit right. So when I give somebody an SQ demo and I'm sitting in the passenger seat,
You're like, yeah,
looking at them,
damn.
I'm all, does it sound good? And they're like, oh my God. They're like, oh my God, my skin's
You're like, yeah,
tingling.
man.
And this is the most beautiful thing I've ever fucking heard, dude. And I'm like, okay, good. Because
My
it
ear
sounds
hurts.
like shit over here, dude. It's so bad. And like, I got in, I was driving down the road with Allie. We were taking the van to get serviced at the Mercedes dealer, and we're driving along, and she's like, God, it sounds great. And I was like, you really need to hear it from the driver's seat, babe. She's
Yep.
like, oh,
That's
okay. And
something
I'm
like-
like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm pulling over. I pull over at an early exit. She jumps in the driver's seat. We're driving the rest of the way there, and she's like, oh my God, this is great. And she's like, how can you make it sound that good in both seats? And I was like, God damn it. I was like, there's gonna be a way soon. There's a product, it's coming. And she's like, well, get that shit as soon as you can. I'm like, all right, it's $800. Like,
So do you
There's a
have
reason
to
a
run
man
a
drives an
center
R8.
channel, like to do a two-seat tune? Two-seat tune? Do you have to run a center channel?
No, you don't. People to do it right, to do it good, they're gonna say yeah, you have to.
yeah, pretty much.
To
Yeah,
get good
because-
imaging. Well,
You can make it.
let me not answer because I don't know.
Right?
I don't
Like
know
you
enough.
could put the mics right in the center, which is what we do in like the Raiden.
We should
I
have.
don't put the fucking mics on the driver's seat. I put them right on the center console, right in the
We
center.
should have Scott on. Scott does
So
a lot of 2C tuning.
when you have a center channel and you do a 2C tune, is it kind of just making up that difference in distance for each seat? Like, so instead of having the right tweeter so far away, now you have a center
Yeah.
channel that's basically
Kind of.
the same, and then it'll play the frequencies kind of needed over here for this, and then it just
I think it's
seems-
more of a time correction thing because
that's
you
what I
can't
mean. Yeah,
tune
it's
to
like-
2 points in time. So, you can't tune time to 2 points in the vehicle. So, I think this helps correct for the distance disparity from side
well,
to side.
it helps so you don't have to like up the dBs on one
That's part
side
of it, yeah.
basically, right? So that at
That's
least
part
it
of it.
won't like scream in your right ear if you're in the passenger seat. If it's
That's
Right. That'll definitely be a thing. Also,
yeah. Getting level to match is super important.
anything that's really right on the center of everything does it affect? Here's the question. Let's say you have the two ins and the three outs. Does it affect the two outs, or is it exactly the same? Because what I'm hoping is that anything that is really right exactly on center gets pulled down a little bit on both sides. So it lets the
Camera right
center
here.
channel drive that bus, right? You know what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting
Yeah.
down here? Drew, you with me?
Oh, the button didn't
Talking
work.
to you.
Yeah,
Fuzzy
so
guy. So that's what we should have this guy on too.
mm-hmm. What are you saying?
We should have them all on at the same time. And then
so they can fight.
That's way smaller than I was expecting because I know you guys have talked about it a lot, but that's not what I thought in my head.
in the picture, I thought it looked a little bigger than this too. But so hopefully what this does, right, is, here's the inputs and here's the outputs. Hopefully the stuff that is really, really, really center, like if it is identical on both sides, hopefully it pulls that down a little bit on the right left and lets the center really do that.
That would be
now when I worked on when I was like 19 years old, which is a long fucking time ago. Is that 30 years ago? That is 30 years ago. I worked at a stereo shop and we were working on this like super high-end install in a Celica. And I think I talked about this install before. And it had a whole bunch of acoustic power reference. They had gold-plated little PR plates that bolted onto the amps. And it had, kicker 10-inch comp subs, which were holy fuck. You had the fucking baddest ass subs. And it was this really beautiful install. And I think this dude spent like $15,000 on it. This is in like 94, that's a lot of fucking money, right? But when we created a center channel in this car, we took the negative off of the right front speaker and the positive off of the left front speaker, and we fed them to the center channel, and we had a potentiometer to control the level of that speaker in line.
I think I saw a speaker recently came out with that had a potentiometer like on the wire for that, and they called it a center channel speaker.
And I talked about this at Mark's class when we were there. You weren't there with me, but when Colt and I went, Mark Eldridge's class, and Mark was like, "Yep, we used to do that shit all the time, just like that." And I was like, "Okay,
that's crazy.
I only saw it once." So, what automation are we talking about tonight?
I don't know why I put that. I just put the things I've been working on lately.
You're working on automation?
Kind of, yeah. So let me pull it up. Screen. Okay. Screen. Is that
screen?
There it is. Okay, over here. So let me see if I need to zoom in a little bit. So this is the control.
Big, Drew, make you big and us small so we can see that. We can. I don't know exactly which button it is.
Actually, I may be able to just do this.
This one?
Oh.
This one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do that.
I want to open this thing up.
There we go.
No, I got this. Hold on. I know what I want to do. But it's normal. Hold on. And then I'm just gonna
share that screen.
I'm just gonna go back to this and yeah. Okay. So this is one of the things I've been working on. It's like I've known about the existence of these for a while. Stream Deck, right? That's a camera. Let's do this little thing, a little handheld device, that big.
They use those in side by sides?
No, I mean they'll probably do something like it. So what you look at on the screen right here is what I'm looking at on this little thing, right? Maybe unblur the camera. Well, you'll get the idea in a second. So the magic part of these is those little buttons, like these, are little LCD screens that can be anything. So, so it's changing because I'm changing. Oh God, what I do?
What did you do? Made me all big? You're doing it wrong. Oh my God, it's still me. What the fuck?
Can't have nothing nice.
I gotta sit up and look all muscly instead of sitting back. And
oh, you know what? I hit the button on the thing and it tried to it tried to make a change like on the program.
There was your automation.
Yep. So as you hit these buttons, you can program these buttons to do anything you want. So like this is kind of where it sits normally. Open SketchUp. I'll show what this does. This design if a button does in a minute. Yeah. Copy paste. If I click the button, I need to just show my screen. That would make more sense. But I'll show my whole screen. Fuck it.
So is this something you're gonna have next to your computer so you could easily open stuff up?
Basically, it'll automate a bunch of things like that. So if I click the fourth order button, it'll pull up the pre-done design template I have for like the information for a fourth order, right? But you can program like folders. So a bunch of lights that I control. You go inside the folder, boom, the buttons change to those specific lights.
Hey, Drew?
Yeah.
If I send you some pictures of my feet, will you send me your little fourth order and sixth order fucking widgets there?
That's just like the like information sheet that people.
This is what it's 3 lines. The fourth order one says sealed section. The second line says fourth section. The third line says okay. Yeah.
Click that shit. Let's see it. Show us your little thing.
It didn't do the screen. The problem with me trying to share my whole screen is the whole screen is fucking massive and it's not going to work that way. But let's do this.
So on your little box, when you click like that one of them that has a drop down, it'll change all the things on your little handheld into whatever you have underneath it, basically.
Ported button.
So it almost has like a bunch of like unlimited drop downs.
Yep. So it just opens up the pre-done template for.
Oh, I see what it is.
So that's
I thought
great.
you had like a little fucking reference sheet and cool shit.
Not yet.
So disappointed.
So
you should sell box design software that we can trust.
Trying some. Oh God. So then these buttons just do a couple other things. But like, so the current thing I'm really liking is I do a bunch of constant clicking, more like in like SketchUp, or like to make component, to label things. You do a bunch of repetitive tasks where you're rendering things, right? You know that. You can automate a bunch of that. One of my favorites is it's actually a silly one, but so
I've been thinking about buying one of those like super mouses that has like fucking.
how about show you? I'm gonna show you some automation. Hold on. Print screen. Save that. So that's how I saved that. And then just one button. I didn't show you because I'm not showing my screen like a jackass. Hold on. Okay. Where's the thing? All right. So I'm gonna press this button, the design info button. And it did it. It's ready to save.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So that's one of them. And then another one of the more automated things that let me just pull up. I can put one that's already done. I'm gonna hide my.
Is there a program that you could just put in the TS parameters of a sub and it spits out a box? Is that what those Box Builder Pro things do?
Kinda like, well, no, Box Builder, like the website just get this, that just tells you measure, like it does like the basic calculations for you.
WinSD or whatever the fuck they're called.
They give you like estimations of what they think it should be based on old formulas at this point. All right. So I'm gonna pull up this person's. A second. I got a whole bunch of stuff open, so it might take a second to open. But yeah, so like those all work off of it'll give you a basic general like recommendation, but they're never right. They're never good. Okay. So
what kind of pizza you got, Bobby?
Little Caesars.
So like, is this labeled right? Okay, it's labeled right. So I started labeling things differently. Now, so you've all seen the cut sheets before, right? Now you just have to manually do all that. Now, make sure materials are right. All right. Based on preset. And actually, that wasn't based on preset. Let's close. Boom. Ready to ride. Cut sheet done.
What do you normally have to do?
I used to manually put them in by hand into a different program. So this eliminates the chance of human error because it just pulls the data off of the rendering, which is accurate. It does that, and then that's not the button I wanted.
How'd you get it to? Did you have to program it to do that?
I had to tell it what information to give me, but it's a it's an extension in SketchUp.
Okay.
And that didn't open like I wanted to, but so I can, and then same thing for the cut sheets that people have always seen. I had to manually type all that out. Now, I just replace it. Open, export, open, and there it is, ready to go. Take that information, SketchUp, hit the button, ported box. You bitch. I'm like messing my flows. I'm trying to think of like stuff to tell y'all as I do it. All right, so cut sheet, which that thing auto generated, copy, ready to ride.
Pretty cool.
So much faster, and then almost impossible. I'm not gonna say impossible to be inaccurate, but much more unlikely that there's going to be an issue. So speed that up. So when I say automation is then it automatically made that cut sheet, made this data, and then I will show you something that I'm working on. I'll show y'all first.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Where is it at? Where did I put it?
Jim said to check your inbox, Drew.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my phone because it's showing my screen.
Yeah, it's all bam. Dick pic.
Oh,
like, whoa! Automate this.
He's showing me his super fancy lasers. So this at some point, if I could figure this out, this would be kind of automation. Make my screen bigger. So SketchUp opens. It's called dynamic components, right? So component options. Size of the box, right? How big is the Tahoe box? 48 wide, 20 tall, 26 deep, right? 48 wide, 20 tall, 26 deep. And we're going to do a port along the bottom 4 inches tall. Okay, I did it a little backwards, but
Shit's all fucked up, bro.
it is.
You know what, dude?
I did depth. That's why. 26,
in
20,
in
48.
Fusion, we busted our ass to create this really awesome, like, little plug in the information, and it would make the whole box. It would do the curve panel, the whole fucking thing. But what kept happening is that every fucking time I wanted to change all the boxes again, I had to change that whole fucking formula.
Oof.
And so I found that I was creating an incredible amount of work
For nothing. That's why I
over and
haven't like
over
started
again.
implementing this. I just
Yeah. But that's really cool.
I learned
I
about
love
it. I'm like,
and I'm not saying don't do it, because do it, really. But I really wanted to have that. I wanted to have like a real simple thing that I was like, oh no, this would be cool if I can make it to where I can super quickly and efficiently make a side slot port box, you know, with just this formula, boom, 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 and it fucking. And I'm like, man, I could save myself, you know, an hour or so on every custom and any box I want to develop. And
so this is basically just that website that people use, the Subbox Pro. This is basically just that. You know, you're telling you what to be. Except for this doesn't suck like Subbox Pro does. You know, like what the numbers need to be and should be still come from up here. This just draws it quicker.
Just got a message from Jim. He wants to do a giveaway tonight.
What are we giving away?
What you want to give away, Jim?
We're about to pull it up.
So that's some of the stuff I've been working on for
what
that.
What happens if he gives us something really fucking cool that I want to win? Can I compete? I want to do it. I want to win a thing.
I want one.
Darth Vader chest plates. Sick.
Yeah. So, Jim, what exactly will our viewers win? Jim, tell us. Sipping on gin and juice. Fuck, dude, that reminds me of some shit.
So, and then like just some more of the optimizations, you know.
What was that box doing too, Drew? What was the box doing too?
So that one that we just did in was probably 18 cubes, tune mid 30s because it wasn't very tall. That was a tall port, probably mid upper 30s.
Sick. Right on.
I just kind of doing.
Did you have the right port area or no? What was your port area?
I'm doing 2 6.5 in it, so we're good.
Oh yes, it's perfect port area. So it has like fucking 190 inches of port area for your 2 6.5s.
Yeah, perfect.
Sick.
Have you been seeing a lot of people start asking about transmission line boxes and stuff on
what is the deal with the fucking? Okay, dude, I had this guy.
I know what the deal is. I know where it's coming from.
Where's it coming from? Talk to me.
Is a dude out of Australia, Lauren, I think his name is. I'll go find a video real quick. He posts up these videos and pictures of videos specifically like super windy with like 2 6.5s and 2 8s and stuff like that, right? Like and people are like, oh, I want the wind, and he's saying, you know, he says that they're transmission lines. So now people are thinking that's what they want.
But they're not T lines. They're just ported boxes.
There might be, or there might be something different. I don't know. He doesn't ever give any information really about his builds. Yeah. Oh. I'm trying to find a picture of it. But like he does some like posts up some crazy scores that look super impressive. But like if you look at the like, not discrediting anything, but you look in the background, his doors are ratchet strapped shut. I think the trunk might be welded shut. Like it's basically an extreme vehicle, which is fine. Still loud. That guy.
What's up with John Nolte's build?
John's build
with the ladder.
What his last name?
On hold until he finds a different vehicle.
I think his last name is Nolty.
Hold until he finds a different vehicle. 'Cause I think he has like 190 inches of port area. So
Oh, he's not going to use the bread truck for the labyrinth
No,
thing?
the bread truck thing is. It's just
What?
he fucking came obstacle after obstacle after obstacle.
Oh, here, this is gonna be him. I knew it. This is him. Found it.
Oh, I thought he was calling you.
Oh, he's blowing me up.
Let me do.
Daily Audio, this is Bobby. Motherfucker, you blow my phone up and then you don't answer?
All right, so I think this is 2 8s, maybe.
Okay. Why would it be called Zero Flex? That's okay. If you're actively the thing in the window, like you can easily do like one of our truck boxes will do that, no problem. A mid-40s will do just that.
I mean,
No
I
problem.
give it to him. You know, he's moving some stuff for sure. Actually, it was this post that he finally posted like this. So, I got loud as shit. This, he's just playing them at full X mech constantly. So look at this. There's nothing left of the suspension. Just ruining the subs. I think he has like a Terramps 8K or something per sub or in total. Anyway, Terramps 8K on 2 8s is a lot. But so yeah, so he's posting like that and scores and like people are seeing it thinking that they'll get the same type of incredible performance whenever his vehicle is hyper optimized, right? A lot of testing, a lot of work. Same thing that happens all the time. I get people. Someone messaged me a couple weeks ago. He sent me a video of a dude. His Facebook name is Single Sub Scrub, but now he's got 218s, I think. So anyway, but it's a Team DTX guy. I can't remember his name, but it's loud as shit. I mean, like mid to low 60s, 218s at like 30 hertz. Like it's nasty, right? But it's a Team DTX guy. These guys are known for like months in testing in their vehicles. He's like, yeah, I want to do that from the C pillar of my Tahoe. No. Well, he's doing it. Why can't I? Because you don't understand why you can't. That's why. You guys gotta.
What was that box tuned to?
Oh, I'll bring it back up real quick.
Dude, it seems like
yeah,
that's been a really
hertz.
big. That's pretty good numbers for 18
Yep.
hertz.
I agree.
And that was 2 10s?
2 8s, apparently.
So I feel like a base reflex sixth order, like one of those Peter Kluge boxes, would be the direction I would go to try to get really good output at 18 hertz that way.
I'm definitely
because I had two 12s in a Pete designed box in the back of my Subaru that would fucking murder 18 hertz like really well with audio dynamics woofers that were really fragile. Like if I would have put something a little gnarlier in there, it would have probably done it even better.
Yeah, like he's posted some pretty impressive scores, and I think a lot of people think that like they'll get the same performance. They're just not. Like
this guy's busting his ass to get every little.
Yeah, so like
ass
they post pictures of the boxes, and they look like real SPL boxes. Like dude putting in work, like giant roundovers in different places, SPL tape everywhere.
All
like he's putting in
everywhere. He sealed off the trunk, sealed the trunk off real good.
Ratchet strapped the door shut.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean it works. It works. So I don't think it. So now people are in like, man, I need a T-line for 212s in my trunk. No.
Trunk's not big enough. Depending on what car.
I mean, I guess there are some trunks that are big enough.
It's like a Caprice.
We're not having a party in my room.
Yeah. I am working on coming in for at least Friday, possibly Saturday morning. So Brandy's.
You're not even going to be there for the show?
No.
You're terrible.
Brandy's yearly. Sorry, my wife comes first. I want to tell y'all.
Duh.
Brandy's yearly, once a year, like advertisers award event ceremony is that weekend.
Yeah. I understand.
And it's the one time a year where she gets me to like put a suit on and looked nice. So, she said I could go, but I was like,
No, you should go to the thing with your wife and put on the.
So I've been looking at flights and things about trying to come in for at least like Friday, right? Just come hang out.
You should come Thursday and tune my Explorer.
Yeah, you should go Thursday, Friday, leave Saturday morning.
And that was actually the flights I was looking at on Spirit. That's all I saw, Spirit. It's a trap. No, with her, no, I don't think she would be legitimately mad. She would just be disappointed then, and I don't want to do that because she does so much for me. Yeah, I looked at that one already. But yeah, after this live stream's over, I got a bunch to do in the shop. Apparently, I went out earlier to I don't know if Bobby's experienced with the printers. So PLA clogs or whatever. Sometimes the printer doesn't know that it clogged. So we get in there.
We were running the 0.2 tip in one of the machines, and we clogged the fuck out of it a couple times. It was kind of sad.
So it's been back there running for about 6 hours now, not putting nothing out, just floating in the air.
You guys want to see my pictures from KFest?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not too many, but I took pictures of stuff I thought was cool. It's Sundown's new. What the hell did he say it was? SDV5?
SD5.
SD5. Yeah. Thing was dope. Tiny. And cool.
Apparently, KFest, I got a shout out at a MTI did a class or something, and they talked about box design, and I got a shout out during that from them.
Nice.
That's cool.
I'm not exactly sure what this thing was, so I took a picture of it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
12-channel smart central control unit. Linkswell smart link 12-channel.
You're supposed to put that in your dash.
What is it, Bobby? Do you know?
I'm just kidding. No, I don't know actually.
So it looks like what it says. Like you probably get a touchscreen like the one above it, and it's 12 channels of on-off.
Okay, so it's like a just
probably programmable on-off too, like
digital relay. Yeah, they have amplifiers now, which that was kind of wild. Linkswell. They make a bunch of these dope ass huge screens. Yeah, DSP amplifiers. I don't know. I didn't know Linkswell made any audio equipment, to be honest. Kind of crazy.
I mean, I knew they made radios.
I thought were kind of cool. These are precision power. They were like what the heck did they call them? Vertical rack amplifier, vertical something. But yeah, basically all the power in the grounds and stuff's all on this backside, and they like that. Some Bluetooth amps.
That silver amp looked hot sitting there.
I took a picture of the underside. I thought I did.
That's fucking cool. Go back to whatever the fuck those were.
Those are bags for a motorcycle.
Fucking bitching. I think that's cool.
Yep. Those were pretty dope. Saddlebag enclosures, yeah.
Does Linkswell not make a radio for the brand new?
There you go, Bobby. I took pictures of some of the Morel stuff. You were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. Motor in the basket. That's the Ultimo. Really pretty.
This one on the
I am a Morel dealer. If any of you guys need any Morel products, got you.
I once years ago I won a giveaway on Facebook, and I won a set of like Morel, like the cheap ones. That's cool.
Very nice stuff. We just did a bunch of Morel stuff in that BMW we worked on. I think I talked about on the show a month and a half ago, 2 months. Customer came in and fucking bunch of badass Focal stuff and fancy ass Helix DSP and sound deadening and all sorts of shit. And And
What is this company? I've never heard of it before, but I saw it.
Museway?
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I mean, I've seen their stuff a bunch, especially the DSP thing. I don't know anything about them in the end. Someone was supposed to send me one of their DSPs. Like, he told me he was going to send me one, never did. I don't know.
See, this was the demo in the Truly room,
Truly.
but it doesn't bring up the bass, obviously, like when you're in there. But it was surprising.
Allie has those Truly speakers at her desk.
Nice.
That's
So he
what
was going to
Allie
send.
uses for her monitor speakers at her desk. They sound pretty fucking bitchin'. Those ones on each side of that computer there, the little stand-ups. Oh, that's
sick.
That's what's in my install bay right now. My customer's named Gary. He dropped the truck off a little bit earlier. We're going to put in dual alternators and 4 Salt 6s to run his ZV6 18s. So yeah, nice. 4 ZV6 18s, and he did the light install on his doors, and it turned out pretty bitchin', huh?
Yeah, that looks dope. I like how the Sky-High speakers do that. I guess almost any of those carbon fiber.
Any of the ones with a good carbon fiber on it do that. Yep, the Sundowns do it as well.
Ooh, I guess the 12s would do it. So.
What's that?
The 12-inch Neo Pros.
Oh yeah, you put a whole bunch of lights. You can put a bunch of different colors. You can put several different rings, and so it'll be like a
Yeah, you can do like all kinds of stuff.
Rainbow, spiral. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna bring my truck to Ryan this week. He got back, I guess, Tuesday morning or something. He said he's gonna finish up some consoles and then bring my Duramax to him Sunday. Get some. I was gonna change up the pillar idea, but I think I might just roll with them big pods. So they were sounding so good today. Fancy stuff.
Bob, you ever tried those Linkswell screens?
Yes, quite a bit actually. 6 years ago, I put one in my F-150, and it was like their first version, and it was a little clunky, but it worked pretty well. It wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. The only thing that sucked is like every time you updated your phone, within a week or so, you had to update the unit, and it was a kind of a pain in the ass. But if you're a little techie, you're okay. I installed a few of them in some customer vehicles, and one particular customer, he didn't mind it, but he'd call me up and be like, "Can I bring it by and have you update it?" And we'd be like, "Yeah." And then be like, "Can I teach you how to do it?" And he'd be like, "No, I'll pay you." And so it would take us, half hour or 45 minutes to do it. We'd charge him an hour of labor and bullshit with him for 15, 20 more minutes and play with his audio system and see if we could tune things or find if he'd blown up any tweeters, because he was an older dude, so he had a little high frequency hearing loss, so he was a little extra abusive on them tweeters. And that one went okay, but then I had one we did in a Ford truck, and after trying really hard for a fucking month, and it was a Gen 2, we just took it out and we put the factory head unit back in and used a Zen module, and that sucked. So that one, I ate one, and then I gave it to a friend of mine, and he put it in his truck, and he fucking loved it. Now, mind you, he loved it because he didn't pay $1,100 for it. He got it for fucking free. So he was like, if I got to deal with some bullshit, I got this big fancy thing after having a little tiny bullshit head unit, and he was broke as fuck, so he was happy. But and then after I kind of gave up on the product, and it had been about 2.5, 3 years since I had done anything with the product at all, because every once in a while it would be the only option in some of the trucks, right? So I think Andy from SoundQubed had been communicating with them, and he had said, "Hey, this is the experience that Bobby Gately had, and if we can get Bobby on board, we'll carry the product." Like I think he was talking about possibly Sky High, right? And so they just shipped one to me, and it arrived. And this is probably 5 months ago. And Colt installed it, and after fiddle fucking with it for a long ass time, we realized that thing's Bluetooth did not work at all. And I had a conversation on the phone with the owner of Cardoza and Company, Mark Cardoza. I called the phone number on my sales rep's email, and I didn't realize it wasn't going to go to my sales rep. I went to the owner of Cardoza and Company, Mark Cardoza, and he's like, "Oh, I've never heard of that happening before. That's crazy." And I was like,
Yeah.
And so then I called tech support of Linkswell, and I'm like, "Hey man, hey, you guys shipped this to me, and this is what's going on." And and the guy's like, "Oh man, we have that really frequently where the DSP, the Bluetooth doesn't work. We'll ship you one out right away." And they were like, "If you can give your order number." I'm like, "I don't have an order number. You guys gave this to me for free." I'm like,
I'm trying to get to work.
I'm like, "Dude, and and he's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Yes, really." I'm like, "It's less embarrassing if I had paid for it." I'm like, and I'm like, "But I will tell you, I have probably 3 hours of my tech trying to figure out what the fuck he did wrong."
So where do I send invoice to?
He's not cheap, dude. This motherfucker's an expensive tech, and I'm like, "But come on, man, help me out." So they shipped us a new one. We put it in. It works. It's working fine. It's worked fine. I haven't got to do more testing on it because we pulled all the amps out of my truck. So now and then we did electrical measurements testing on it, and it has half a volt pre-out at best. So it was not spectacular. And then this one didn't have an optical output. So they were like, "Oh, you can put a line driver." And I'm like, "Hey, that doesn't quite do it. It'd be way better if your unit was just better. That'd be fucking way better." And it's advertised as higher volt pre. Yeah, well, it didn't, and we, chips, and because of COVID, and we couldn't get chipsets, and that's why and it's limited. And it's okay. Well, you should not advertise it as such. But then they sent me a Gen 6. So their latest and greatest version of it, they sent me that. And I haven't paid for any of them. And I'm going to give it a shot because that's fair enough. You know what I mean?
As they go.
And I will tell you that first one that I had in my truck, it was in there for over a year, and I was pretty happy with it. And when I would show it to customers, it was pretty easy to sell another one. I think that as they got a little more complex, they got a little ahead of themselves, and they get version 2, and they never worked out the bugs before they got version 3, and they didn't work out the first 4 or 5, and now they're at 6, and now they have the extra big one. And Eric Hazelton has one of those in his truck, the big one that sticks up above the dash 4 inches.
Ooh, that's nice.
Now he fucking loves it, and he thinks it looks super cool, and I fucking hate it. I think it's hideous. I think it's uglier than fuck.
I'm with you.
It's why would you want some fucking thing sticking out of your dash like that? But he thinks it's great. He can have that shit if he likes it. It's his. So I have the version 6 that does not do that. I'm gonna put that in the truck, but I gotta put some amps and shit in there too. So, but so I have quite a bit of experience with the Linkswell company, and they
not all great.
And it's not all great. Some of it's okay. You know what I mean? So, and I've talked to the owner a couple times, and he's a good dude. He's a nice guy, and he's trying really hard. He wants to make something amazing, and he stands behind the product. So that gives it some credit with me. If you are not a dick and you understand he's not in denial and he's not a fucking liar, and they got some good technicians that'll really help you through things. And that means a lot, So,
for sure.
Yeah.
So Ryan asked, let's say, entry level DSP
on my Linkswell experience. What do you got there? You tying yourself up?
I'll go show Steve something in a second, but I was answering this: a beginner DSP. So there's no such thing as a beginner or an advanced DSP. Either they're simple and they have no control, or they're a normal functioning DSP. The only difference will be the software you're using. And to this day, the most simple, straightforward software I've used is JL's. That's just what it is. Everyone else uses kind of the same software because they're all buying it from the same Chinese build house, which is fine. And the JL software also has hundreds of hours of how-to videos and tips and tricks and all that no one else has. Good tweet. Like I said, there's no such thing as a beginner DSP either. They all kind of do the same thing.
A DSR1 for the money is a really fantastic product. And it becomes really awesome when you pair it with one of those Maestro harnesses and the pre-tuned, like not pre-tuned, but the preset integration settings that you can do with it. But it actually is really easier to understand compared to a parametric EQ, because it has like 48 bands and 24 bands of equalization per channel. So it's a little bit more beginner friendly to understand what you're doing and how you're doing it as you adjust. Now, there's not a, I mean, there are some ways of tuning DSPs and equalizing and setting time alignments and things of that nature without a mic and an RTA system, but
there's no accurate way.
It's really time consuming, and it can be really frustrating if you start having ear fatigue, which I always have ear fatigue. So, I would say that Ryan, the best thing for you to do is get a mic and start studying what results you get and follow instructions.
So when people ask like beginner DSP, I was going to talk about the actual like use of the DSP itself, not how to tune, because like how to measure and tune is, I mean,
that's not beginner at all.
No, I mean, no. Like you could do easy to pull measurements with a microphone and see what you're hearing,
or even just take, you get the tape measure out and you set your time alignment, put the mic in there, and and if you get some good instruction on crossover points to start with, and then you get a mic going and you knock down the high spots a lot and you bring up the low spots a little, you should sound pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So I think what people mean when they ask that is because it's a lot. It's a lot at once, right? You have to figure out crossovers. You have to figure out, a whole bunch of things at once. Because it's not the DSP making it complicated. It's how much changes in that process to run like active. You don't have to run active. You could do it passively, safely. You just put it in line with your amp radio now to play with it.
Yeah.
All right. So Steve, we were talking earlier this week about this thing. Turn this blur effect off. Do something. This thing.
Yeah, I don't understand how it has a USB for power and it's also an out. Makes no sense to me.
USB.
Yeah.
This cord, this gray one, coming from a power source. Plug into this right here.
Yeah.
This USB into whatever you're listening to, your phone or whatever, and then just a regular old. Do I even have a regular old cable? Yep, right here. A regular old USB-B cable. It's like all this would be like, you could have a longer cord for your phone. So all this is hidden, but this little USB into that. And then this finally into the berry back. And look, you made a little Y split.
I see.
Phone's charging. This now has signal from your phone. So now you'll be playing Bluetooth, not Bluetooth, USB audio. So even cleaner. Then you get your.
Is it possible to get any more little boxes or wires to connect all of them together?
See, that's what I searched Amazon all for a while yesterday, looking for one that was like mine, that just has like a the normal power input plug, little 5-volt stud thingy. You know what I'm talking about? Kind of like the female side of an aux or whatever. So like that's how mine is powered. Like I just want one that has that, and then it has a USB input. Like it seems like it would be easy enough, but can't seem to find one. It's either it has that power cable and then it has Bluetooth and aux, or it has USB that is used for the power and data. It's like, why can't you just have fucking both?
I know. I'm way zoomed in. Okay, there we go. And that was the signal out of it. So
Yeah, so basically, you just have to have a splitter and an extra cable.
yep, but like I said, the splitter could be far away, and you may be able to do it with a different type of hub. I haven't tried yet. This is just this stuff I had on hand. Play, bitch. So that's that's the signal output of this. Let's play some music. See what it looks like. We're back in business, boys. Yay, signal.
Nice. Well, I tried to order one, and they're not going to be available for like a month. So
What the berry back thing?
Yeah.
Yep. I had ordered it from.
So I'm just going to order one more, just like I have for a backup in case it happens to go bad at the show. So at least I have something to keep going because that would suck.
Sure. Bobby, Rick wanted me to tell you that paint is falling off of the Jeep constantly.
I bet.
And everyone on TikTok says that they could build that box for $3,000 all day.
I mean,
and they could do 3 a week.
bet.
Bet. I commented, I said, dude, you build 3 of these a week for $3,000 a pop, I'm buying every one of them. Let's roll.
Yeah, but I use screws.
Yeah, but it's the same thing, dude. Bet I would. Everyone was like, bro, I could have had so much box for that. Like, yeah, but is your box see-through? Like, bro, like I see your system. You have 3 different brand subs.
So, have you guys ever been into those? It's almost I wish I remember the fucking name of the store. There's one over kind of near where the old Sky High location used to be. There's like a sporting goods, like hiking.
REI?
No, it's not REI. It's at a mall, and they have these fish tanks in them.
Oh, like Bass Pro Shop?
Bass Pro?
Yeah, but it's not Bass Pro Shop. No, it's not. Something else. And they have way cooler fucking fish tanks than what they have in Bass Pro Shop. These motherfuckers have 2 of them.
Is it Outdoor World?
No, I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
The fuck? Harry and the Henderson?
Shields? Is that right, Jerry? And they have 2 of them. They have one at each end of the fucking store. And they have these massive tanks that are like 2.5 and 3-inch thick acrylic. And there's not a fucking single bubble in any of the fucking bonds at all. They're perfect. They're beautiful. They're way the fuck beyond anything that I can fucking build.
You know how expensive them bitches must have been?
Yes. They're a fucking million fucking dollars each. That's what they cost. Allie searched and looked it up. We intend to take some time and go to they have a facility in Colorado where they build them. And they have like 8 of them around the world where they fabricate these things. And I want to go fucking and check this place out. But when Allie reached out to them, was talking to them, and was like, hey, and they were like, what do you do? What is it? And she was like, my husband, and he builds these. And she emailed them pictures, and they were like, that's fucking incredible.
You're like, oh, you should show me how to do it better.
They're like, I was like, yeah, thank you. I'm like, well, I have little bubbles. And they were like, well, we might be able to help you figure out how to make those not be there. I'm like, that sounds fantastic.
And you're like, how do I do it? They said, you pay us to make it.
It's like a tube. So Jim made a fucking fish tank that had like fucking 0 bubbles. Jim
I think Jim's a real human.
Boxes. Jim could build some fucking boxes like me.
I don't think Jim's a real human.
He is I think he is a robot. He's for sure part robot. He's
kind of definitely not. I mean,
like, what hinted it is that's not gray fucking in his beard. That's actually wire. That's metal wire that grows out of it. It's like aluminum.
It's like silver.
I would just say he's not real if I hadn't spent that night with him in Vegas.
Jim's the best.
That's wild. So he's like a sex robot too?
I mean, we all found out.
Jim goes hard, dude. He could go fucking for 3-4 days in a row.
Like, dude, I can't do. I don't know that. You get one night out of me, and then you're not seeing me for a week.
Let's give away his thing. Well, how are we gonna do this?
You give away his thing?
This thing.
Like, all right, the winner of
Get it
tonight's
at the
thing.
showdown, baby.
Spend the night with Jim at the showdown.
Woo!
Woo!
Okay, question. I don't know. I don't have one.
I know I'll be back in a second. I gotta go grab something.
All right, think of a question.
Fuck yeah.
Where did he go? Is he going to the fucking? He's getting ready for his lonely Drew take over the show by himself thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some food. Hungry. I spent pretty much all day trying to clean my garage, and I got somewhat through it. But you've seen what it gets to before, and it was so bad this time. Like I did all that work for SEMA, and then I took a little time off to not do shit, and then Christmas time, and then broke my foot, and then I just like,
how's your foot? How's that healing?
Fucking way slower than I need it to.
Because you're old.
Probably. So I'm going back to work Friday. I just can't.
Just gonna fucking limp.
I can't take any more time off, dude. It's fucking. I gotta make some money.
That shit gets expensive, right? What has it been, like a month?
December 29th was the last time I worked. So yeah.
Yeah, that's over a month. Yeah. 5 solid fucking weeks.
Yeah.
I am indeed planning to go to Aggie Land. When is Aggie Land?
April 9th, I think.
All right. My question has nothing to do with Jim.
April 6th, 7th.
What are the dates of the showdown? First one to answer.
I will probably leave early as fuck Friday morning, and I will be towing, so it'll take me, 8 or 9 hours to get to Prim. So we probably get there in the early evening.
Ryan Morgan on 24th and 25th. Oh wait, yeah.
What?
24, 25.
What to fight?
I will be in Prim hopefully Friday afternoon. I will be marking the lot bases out for vendors and shiz. Probably setting up some. I'm probably not doing cones yet. I'll probably do that in the morning. But Friday evening, there's gonna be quite a few people there already. Obviously,
I think he's asking when you're leaving. Like I guess leaving the show.
What?
What?
He said, yes, when you're leaving Vegas, like when you're leaving the show, like
oh yeah,
no longer
Jim asked earlier. He wants everybody to get together on Sunday. So
we're gonna leave Monday morning, so I will not be drinking on Sunday.
Maybe Sunday night we'll do a Korean barbecue or something after the show. Get some bulgogi.
That sounds pretty fire. It would suck if you had a load of people though. Korean barbecue, fucking like everybody's like there'd be people done eating when the fucking guys are still waiting to get there.
That's true. It's only more like a 3 to 5 person.
Yeah, maybe 6 or 8, but like the show they'll be fucking.
Maybe we'll do like the teppanyaki where they have the guy do the shit. You can fit like 14 people around that, dude.
As long as it's not hella fucking far. I'm not trying to go far.
There's tons of them around Vegas.
Yeah, but I don't want to go all the way to Vegas. We're gonna be at Prim.
No. Well, if we're coming back, if you got to come back, no, I know, but Sunday night we're all leaving Prim. You got to come back to my house with the cars. They're getting picked up, right? Or are you driving all the cars?
Our room is still there.
Oh, you're staying in Prim Sunday night?
Yeah, and we got to drive home with some of them. A couple of them need to go back to your place. All right, so I suppose we take those cars back to your place, go have dinner, and then we drive back to Prim, and then we drive home on Monday morning.
That could be a thing.
We can make that work, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We have time. All right. My question was, I got it. We got Ryan Moore's in the lead with 1 correct. So if he gets this next one right, he wins, I guess, right?
Okay. What's the other question?
I don't know. You guys fucking have to ask something. 3 questions. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll go get bulgogi. Me, you, and Hammy will go for sure.
Bukkake? What?
It's Korean barbecue. It's the marinated.
I bet it. I mean, there might be some Koreans involved.
Korean barbecue's fire.
Is it roof Koreans?
What?
What?
Roof Koreans.
Roof? I don't know what that is.
What's
You know about the Roof Koreans?
Like ROOF?
Roof, yeah, like on the roof of the building during LA riots. Roof Koreans.
I know nothing about that.
The LA riots are tearing a bunch of shit up. Koreans got on the roofs of their buildings with ARs and guns and shit, defending their businesses.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, in the fucking
Roof Koreans, no looters
the
there.
1992 or whatever the fuck riots. Yeah,
Roof Koreans.
Hmm.
You weren't quite old enough for that experience, and somehow Drew knows it. It's from the.
I remember it all happening, but I guess I don't remember them talking about Roof Koreans. I was maybe too young for that to stick in my mind.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I was a fucking sophomore in high school. Yep. Yeah.
I had something on my mind. Now I can't remember what it was. Tired.
All right, here I got one. If you watch this enough, you should know this answer. How many vehicles is Bobby bringing to the show now?
Oh God. I think that's going to be people guessing.
It changed.
It's changed?
What was it the last time I said anything?
37.
Jay got it with 4 is what I said last time. Jason Blackboom has it correct, actually, but I haven't told anybody that. So
I thought it was 5 the whole time. What's the 5th one?
Slam Halen. Slam Halen wasn't going to come before.
Oh, you told us last week that it was probably going to come.
Oh, I said last week, so I did change it. So it's probably coming. But yes. So I don't know. So it's fucking. So Jay and Jason both kind of got it right.
Okay.
If anybody would have said 4.5, they would have been fucking winning.
All right. So if one of those 3 guys gets this next question right, they're probably going to win it. And if somebody else gets it, then those 3 people could do a 3-way jerk off tie. Something. All right, Drew, you got a question? So I asked 2. Either one of you?
Sure. What was the name of the guy that said everything below 40 hertz is a waste of information? What was his name?
I don't know the guy's name.
The only reason I thought of that is because someone made a post about this video again today, and I'm going to screenshot something out of the Kicker catalog coming up.
Jizz.
His name was Jizz.
Whole name, not just his first name, whole name.
It wasn't Kip or John.
It wasn't Kip. No, it wasn't John either.
Kickerman 3000. That's right.
I mean,
Close
that
enough,
might as well be that boy's name.
The mouth breather. Oh, fuck.
That was so funny. Is that guy still working Kicker or no?
Oh yeah.
He did. He's there all the time. He did a bunch of the live last night. I don't know. He didn't do all of it, but he started the live off last night.
Yeah, he's on the Unmasked a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, what was the full name, first and last, of the guy that made the comment
Yeah,
a few years
I say
ago?
first and last because
Yes.
that's how they call him by his full name.
Yeah.
But
Drew Gately. Sick.
right. So anyone who's seen the Kicker Bronco in person, this is the license plate on the Bronco.
I could concur. They like less than 40 hertz. They do like 40 hertz. They do.
Well, they like everything. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're not some Chinese catalog sub with no control. But
they're pretty deep for me.
Speaking of Kicker, I was going to pull this up. Got an email from them, just their marketing department yesterday about new products, whatever. In the email, look in the background. Boy, look at that.
Noise.
So I haven't got permission to show the catalog yet, but I've seen the new 2024 catalog, and your boy up in the catalog, man. Like a lot.
Noise. I'd like to get my build in one of these fucking things one of these times.
All you got to do is bust it. Apparently, no one's going to get it, and y'all took too long. Y'all looking it up. His name was Aaron Malin. Slacking.
Okay.
It was Aaron Malin, and a lot of people just think so. A lot of people don't know what really happened to that. So he was new at kicker at that point, like fairly new. It was his first time on camera at CES. So, wasn't nervous. He started talking about motorcycle / ATV audio, off-road audio. That's what he was talking about. He said 40 hertz to waste information because super low frequencies outdoors, especially back then. He's not wrong. You're right. But he got,
He got raped for that. All right. Well, we still got
good question. What were Steve and I eating in the famous picture from last year?
Oh, that's a good one. So Blake did have it right, but he's like, I don't want to win. Like, okay.
I wish I could find that picture. I'd pull it up. I don't know where it's at.
No, don't bring up the picture now.
Pizza. No, dog.
No. Wow. Each other.
Close enough.
Shiz.
Jim was there. You should know.
Mark Miller.
Can't win his own product.
Miller got in there. Boom.
So Mark Miller. Let's talk about Mark Miller. He drove from Tennessee to my house last week because of this show.
Very cool. Oh, and Mark Miller has
a Gately audio box and 2 Gately Alpha 12s.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Let me show you what else Mark got. 1 second. Let's pull the screen up.
All right, this is how we're going to do this tiebreaker while you're pulling that up. So Mark, Jason, and who else was it? Ryan, Jay, Jason, and Mark. Pick a number 1 to 100. I'm going to ask Jim in private message to figure it out or to give you the number. And you guys pick it.
My boy rock clean, dude.
That's dope. That's a good looking car.
Full sky high 3-way set. Some treated doors properly. Let's see what's going next.
Mark's a good dude. We talked a whole bunch, man. We talked a lot when we were putting all that stuff together.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna find that SQ baby. I'm gonna find it. It's in there. I know it is. But let's see. Boom. The Gately box, the 3.25 cube for 212s.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. 2
Alpha 12s. Salt 4. Limitless 30. He had a DM8, a DM610, and a Salt 204. So he was running 3-way passive. He is no longer running 3-way passive. We took out the Salt 204 and the audio control and put in an MVI 606.
Oh, yep. Sick. Oh yeah.
So put in a 606, went 3-way active.
Yeah, if you got a 3-way, you got to go active with it. You're not getting, and you need to. You're losing so
the OEM location of the most, like as I'm tuning it, I'm like, damn, like he was watching me tune. I was telling him what I was doing. Like, damn, like these phase traces look really good. Like they're a really good stock. And then end up calling Jeffrey from in the car. We were having a distortion issue. Turned out just being the speaker hitting metal. But called Jeffrey Hall and told him what's going on. He's like, those cars have really good locations. It's like, yeah, they fucking do actually.
Well,
so
that's good.
Imaging staging was great. Sounded great. And so where's the other picture at?
So me and Mark spent over 2 hours on the phone twice when we were putting that system together. And then I think he was on the phone with Gavin and or Colt also for a couple of extended periods of time, which was, we're totally cool with that. He did a good job on his install, and it worked out great that he hooked up with Drew.
Did a 148 at 30s.
Banging, son.
And that was like, it was raining outside, so we weren't exactly doing a whole bunch of like deep testing, just kind of meters laid on the floor.
Yeah.
So
48.3, man, I almost wish you had that Salt 4.5 ohm in that thing.
Dude, it'd be a low 50 all day.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, we'd probably get a 50 out of it as it sits, just with enough time, just testing the car.
Yeah, yeah.
But
we're upping the power a little bit. I mean, you get a touch over 4K out of a Salt 4.
Yeah, I didn't.
But
we spent like an hour looking for the Turn Lab. That
subs are real happy with quite a bit more power. Maybe we.
He said he's never had him smell, not once.
Well, he's
Jim,
a smart guy. He's no dummy, and so he probably knows to keep it clean and make it awesome. But like, I would personally, I would lean on that shit until I have them subs pretty good and stinky.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Jason, you got closest number, so you're the winner, buddy. Go ahead and contact Jim. I don't know, Jim. Do you want to give the $200 to the same person? $200 gift card?
I mean, put the $200 towards a larger fuse box. Jason gonna need it.
It's probably true. Oh, yeah,
Jason might need something huge, man.
And actually, that reminded me.
mean,
Mark needs.
I got something going on my screen over here for Jason that I can't share with y'all, but fuck, it's wild, son.
Mark actually needs one of the new fuse blocks, because whenever we took out the MVI, with the way the wires come out, it's a little wider, so everything needs to move over, and the fuse block they have is just really wide. So Jim's new stuff would fit way better. But yeah, so he drove 6 hours, I guess. So let's each way have me.
Man, I have conversations. Satan loves you, Steve. I have conversations with customers all the time, and I'm like, "Where are you located?" And I'm like hoping that they're near Drew or near
and they're always like
at
Dunk
LIS over in Kansas City, or they're near like Scott Dilbeck,
somebody,
or near College Station, somewhere where I know they can trust someone, because dude, I've had 3 shops that I sent customers to. One, like, screw up the customer's car and like badmouth me and try to like sell them other shit. And like, they're like, dude, Bobby sent me to you.
Yep.
And you want me to return all of the shit and have you guys make me something?
And then they go ahead and leave.
They mounted his Cyber 12K under the seat of his mega cab. And I was like, don't sit anybody in that seat.
Yeah, period. Not do that.
You could burn the vehicle down with a person in it.
So I recommended a local dude for a box build and an install from a dude in Lafayette. And like his box build is great. And so he's supposed to come back to me for me to tune it because it's a stereo integrity 3-way set. I get back hands on it. It's just all wrong. Every bit of it. It's just not wired right. I'm like, oh, man, it sucks. Like I gotta like not recommend this dude anymore for like installs because of this.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, like I'm still gonna recommend for like building some boxes, but like shit. And then I fixed it because I'm the one sitting over there.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, I'll get somebody like local people pull in. They want like standard install. I need a radio, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's this shop right over there. You can, and then they
come back
later. They're like, hey, you tell me to go to those guys, and they like fucked up my car.
Then my car like lit on fire.
I'll bring it by.
I had a Tesla, and Elon came and picked it up and took it from me. Luckily, Rick over at Sound Device, they're doing really good work now. He took over the business from his dad. I guess his dad's still there, but he does mostly home and commercial stuff. So that's been their focus for a long time. So now they're getting back into car stuff, and I really like their work. So I'd recommend them. And then we got one more shop like 45 minutes away that I tell people to go to, but even then I'm like,
yeah, I got nobody here. Can't really.
It's so hard, man. And I was talking about this with my sales rep, and I was like, man, our biggest competition aren't other people doing good work. It's all the shops that are doing shit work that make people go, I'm not even fucking trying to let anybody risk fucking up my vehicle. There's so many bad fucking shops.
Yeah, I just saw I had a message from them.
Oh, nice.
Boy, Brody.
Nice.
Boy, he's out there killing it, man.
He is, man. He is.
Yeah, I keep those right there on my desk.
All right, I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna jet out. Just want to keep going, obviously.
No, I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna go pop a little camera into the shed and start. Hell, I gotta carry a bunch of shit out there from in here. There's like 30 pounds of filament that tons of filament.
I'm gonna go home and get some rest. I've been up since 4:30 in the morning. So I love you, kids. You guys be good. Fix your motherfucking engine noise and be nice.
All right, guys. It's 2024. If y'all got engine noise now, Sell the
Oh, no, they
PRV.
still all of them have engine noise,
Yeah.
Mark Miller doesn't.
except for Mark.
Actually, you know
And
what?
Jason, because you don't even
He
have any
did.
answers to it yet.
So when that
fucking-
speaker, the mid range was hitting the door like metal, he
Oh, yeah.
started the car. The system freaked the fuck out.
Oh, fucking
Mhm.
bet.
Yes, he had some engine noise, but like,
Shit.
so
All right,
it
well,
must have been doing it the whole
fix-
time. But the
Everybody
passive
else fix
crossover,
yours.
yeah,
Okay, those of you that don't have engine noise, don't fix your engine noise, but definitely be nice to people.
Yeah.
And those of you that have engine noise, go fix that shit. But you can be mean to people until you fix your engine noise.
because you have a reason to be mad.
Yeah, you gotta read, and you can just explain it. You're like, bro.
What's that? I had engine scream.
Yeah, I've been in so many builds with engine scream. It's fucking
Engine
wild.
scream.
I've
Almost
Bro,
like-
what are you doing?
I've been all, did we do this? We did this? Is this our fault? And they're like, well, it didn't do it when it left. And then he like drove away and then somehow it's there. And I'm like, okay, well, it's still our fucking fault. That something's fucked up, man.
Why? All right, boys. Have a nice night.
Later.
Later.
I'll stay on for a second to show the people this.
All right.
If they don't, because they may not all make it to the thing. So it's a version 2. So got these. And for the longest time, it just had, I don't have one. I just had my symbol left to right real big. And I was like, that's cool. And I figured out the QR thing for someone else, actually. So I'm going to do my own QR code then. So I made all QR, I have my own, but this is version 2 of me doing it on these for all of them. And the first one, just the lines are too little. Hard to print that cleanly. I got that looking clean. Did a new some new settings for better bed adhesion. So the finish is, let's see if I can get a light to hit it. Anyway, the finishes look mint, smooth. I got these dialed in, man. And stuff like 60 more to print for double dude. Yeah. I'm gonna take that camera, some headphones. I'm going out to the shop. I'm going to go live there in about 30 minutes. Hell yeah, dude. Appreciate you. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, Mark got to be all inside the shop. He knows how packed, how jammed it is in there. We're doing some cleaning up from there tonight, actually. For those who join, I'll see you there.